Okay, guys, welcome to this new powerful training. And I'm so excited to share with you the top 6 ways that you can actually start using to book strategy sessions organically, a fast and easy way. And what I actually want to start with is some misconception that we have in the marketplace. So between coaches and consultants, most importantly between the ones who are starting right now doing some organic game, most of them believe the organic means actually the outreach, the outbound gain, means sending an endless amount of cold messages, means like doing cold calls, means doing or sending emails. And this is actually what this is not all about. This is something that maybe can help at the beginning, the outbound game, we know, but ultimately we don't want to rely on the outbound game. We want to start positioning ourselves, our offer, our services in the marketplace as an actually solution to a problem. So we want to position our offer and in a way that actually gets people to reach out to us and not the other way around. And of course, we don't like to use ads. We don't like to give out money that we could actually have for us. And really, this whole training will provide you with all the knowledge of the solution that you need to actually start understanding how this whole organic game works. So how to create an unlimited opportunity volume without spending money on ads. So here is what we're going to cover. First of all, some important context before starting, some rules to make this whole training a success, as always. And finally, we're gonna see the top 6 ways to book strategy calls in an organic way. So it's gonna be a very fast direct sort of training. Some important context before starting. So what I'm going to show you, this whole training, just know that works on every social media platform out there. And you can actually start to use it on Facebook and LinkedIn, but you can actually start to implement it on Instagram or other platform. And this actually depends on where your market is, where it actually congregates. So we want to understand that. And just know that the flow stays the same, the human psychology stays the same. So we are gonna show you in this training some principles that have worked since the time where business was invented. So it's based on core principles. And for this kind of training, so just know that the Facebook language is the one that I'm gonna be using. So the outcome of what we are doing with the organic game, the real outcome is actually to start getting people to raise their hands and book strategy sessions, strategy calls, discovery calls, whoever you want to call them, with us. And what do you actually need to have into place? And this is super crucial. First of all, what you have to have into place is an ideal avatar alignment. This is something that we heavily focus on in the Organic Attraction Accelerator with my clients, but it's super important to understand exactly who are the people that you actually want to start working with. Who are the people that will require your solution? Because if you are in an entrepreneurship, you have to understand that people buy because mainly they want to solve issues. They want to solve problems, especially if you're offering a high ticket, a high sales program. Before investing money, people want to understand if the problems that you are solving, that you are helping, is something that they are having right now. So this is all it's all about. So you want to understand and really know who is the person that you want to work with. Then you have to have an offer in place, what we call a 6-figure offer. An offer that actually strikes a nerve, that when you present it, that when people hears it, this is actually all they want to know, think about. This is something that when they understand what is it, they will immediately and subconsciously start thinking, okay, this is for me, this is exactly what I have to do, and it actually strikes a nerve real deep. Then what we have to do and what we have to have into place before starting is also a small or a big, it's not important, audience that listens to you. So what we do here, it's mainly leveraging our Facebook profile. You can also leverage our Facebook groups. It's good as well. And you can have your own Facebook group. You can have an email list. It's not important here. But the thing is having like someone who is kindly listening to what you're saying. And finally, what you have to have into place are some decent copywriting and messaging skills. So if you want to know a secret, and I actually receive every day tons of messages from people who say that I'm good at copywriting, but my secret is I have no idea about how to copywrite. And really, I have never bought a course on copywriting. I never hired a mentor specifically teaching me about copywriting, because the secret is that you don't have to be awesome in copywriting. You just have to have a clear and good understanding of who you're actually trying to work with. Who do you want to attract? And finally, you have to have into place some messaging skills, which are super important, because at the end of the day, business is all about connecting, engaging, making new connections, and to really receiving offers from people that could actually help you or that you could actually help them. And this is just the base of business. And I don't understand how people online especially are losing track on how this all works. Okay. Now, some important context before starting. Most people, and you can see them by scrolling through your feed, I'm sure about that, they don't hit their income goals because simply they don't make enough offers. And they really believe that just by posting content, talking about a specific subject, people will start to reach out to them. And that is borderline and down the road of just being selfish. Because what you have to understand that is especially the people who actually need your service, need your help, are the ones who will have more issues like reaching out. Most of the coaches that I see are not making enough offers, and they are not really putting themselves out there as much as they need to, because this is super important to understand. And also, some people in the marketplace, they don't need their goals because what they do is just making offers. And you can see them in their profiles, just creating content and putting links, like scheduling links, just hoping that people will immediately getting on a call with them without delivering value, without having a clear explanation of what they do, the problem they offer. They just post links, and this is something that you can see and spot, especially for new beginners. And I have to be honest, I was one of them too. So this is some mistake that I've done, but they make just offers. And then another important thing to really own in is that it's important, super important, to have a good frequency between of your content, so a good variation, and be consistent with your content. So I got some people, some coaches that reach out to me and say, "Hey, I'm not getting clients. I'm not booking strategy sessions. Why is that?" And then when we look at what they are doing on their profile, we see that they have been posting maybe one content in the last 2 weeks, one post in the last 2 weeks. And this is something that really we have to understand. We have to become the leaders. We have to become the authority. We have to be consistent with what you're doing. And finally, another important context, it's that every organic post that you publish, especially the 2 steps or the posts that I'm gonna show you here in this training, are assets. So don't give up and continue and be consistent with it. Okay, some more context, and this is something that I've shown you in the previous trainings in the messaging and in the content training, but it is again super crucial to understand because it makes all the difference. You have to really understand who you are wanting to attract, and especially their level of problem awareness. So if you think about your whole niche, your whole market as like 100% of people, so just think about sending 100 messages to 100 people. You already know, based on statistics, that 50 of those 100 people will never gonna buy from you. Even if you send them 100 messages, they will never gonna buy from you because you simply don't resonate with their view of the world, or your product, your problem doesn't solve your product, your offer doesn't solve a problem that they are facing, or who knows what else. So 50% already know, just they will never gonna buy. Then you have like a good 40%, which is what we call the slow lane, which are people who could potentially buy from you within between 90 and 180 days. So we don't want to rely too much on these people because our main intention is to create some cash flow right now. So really what we have to focus on is the remaining 10%. So we have to become good at understanding who is this 10%. Who are the people who will buy now, who are ready to buy now, who are already problem aware. And this is just the ready lane, the 1%, 1 to 3%, ready to buy, problem aware. They know they have to move forward. They can do it on their own. And you are in the right place with your offer at the right time. So this is the 3%. And then you have a 7 to 9% of people who could potentially gonna buy from you within the next 90 days. So those are people who are not yet problem aware. They are people who have started right now. They are thinking about the problem that you are solving, but it's not an issue right now. So it has no point in trying to sell something, in trying to force or push something, because they don't feel the need, they don't want to buy. And you have to remember, in business, people love buying, but they hate to be sold. So you don't want to sell to people who don't want to buy. You want to find the people who already want to buy and sell to those people. Then, other important rules to make this a success. What you have to understand is that you want to start, so we already talked about that, but variating your content is crucial. And if I do this, again, for 5 minutes, you will notice that this knocking on the table will actually cause you to pay attention in the first like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, but after a while, after a few minutes, you will not pay attention anymore. And this is what happens when you put out content, which is always the same kind of content. People will start avoiding it. They will know already what you have to say. So it's important that you bring in that variation of content. Super important. So what we're gonna show you is actually a system, a client attraction system, which is called the TLA client attraction system. This is something so powerful that I haven't honestly invented it, so I'm not that smart. I'm learned through my mentor, which of course has refined it and owned it and taught it to a lot of persons. So it's a battle-tested, proven system that actually helps you like to create this sense of people reaching out to you. Then you have to understand again what your avatar wants and what are the ins and outs of your offer. So how is your offer connecting the dots between what is his problem, what their problem of your avatar, and how is your offer gonna solve the very same issues that your avatar is having. So then we have to understand that patience, again, it's super important. We want to be consistent, show consistency, be persistent until positive feedback loops start happening. So it's super important. And again, we want to always be continuing, connecting, engaging, building the relationships, building out your audience. Again, business, it's all about this. It's all about connecting and really getting to understand who you actually work with. And finally, you want to understand the growth mindset. You have to understand that nobody knows exactly what to do before starting to take action. So it's important always to understand that we can get better on everything that we want to get better, but that we have to actually start and allowing ourselves to take this imperfect action. So let's get to the nitty gritty, guys. So 6 ways to book strategy sessions. So what we are gonna show you also in the last content, is that we have 4 kind of high level posts. So we have teach posts, which are posts about the who, the what, the why, but without the how, because we don't really want to give band-aid solutions to our audience. And then we have like high value posts. And then we have like posts that show that we are basically expert, that we are well positioned in our niche as solution offers. Then we have engaged posts, which are purely designed to build that attraction, bonding, community vibe. So we want to also show people who we are, what we stand for, and what is really all about in our life. So we want to actually start getting them a feeling that we and them, we are connected, we resonate on other levels, not just about business, but also how we see the world is kind of the same. Finally, we have some Hue posts, which are exactly about that. So they are about connecting, they are about building this know, love and trust factor, because you have to understand that people in business buy from people who they know, they love and they trust. And finally, what we actually have, we are gonna focus in this training are the action and offer posts, which are crucial to pre-sell our offer. Because you want to understand that most people won't move forward unless you are willing to ask them. And especially the ones who really need your help will be the ones who will find more issues and struggles reaching out and ask for help. So we have to show our leadership, reach out to them, connect, and make them feel easy to reach out when they need it. Cool. So now we are really gonna talk about what the organic game is all about. And most of the people who actually teach organic are people who they say the same thing and just post content, put it in groups, and just put content, value content, more whatever engaging content, but there is no structure, there is no system behind it. So what we're actually doing here with the TLA game, again, which is something that I didn't invent, is something that comes from my mentors, it's crucial. So we want to bring a little bit more structure. We want to really understand what are the numbers, how can we actually track the data, and to really know and understand how to move our audience from base to base to base until they actually gonna buy from us. And the best way to actually understand how this whole game works is picturing like a baseball game. So again, we are in Italy, we are not about we are not about baseball, so I kind of know the rules of the game, but I don't follow it. So it's kind of easy to understand. And the most important part where we have to start on is ourselves. So we are the players with the bat in our hand, and we are basically striking the ball, which is our offer, and then we are moving people from base to base to base until they hit a home run, possibly. So it's super important to understand that 80% of the success into our business will be related to our own energy and how we show up in the marketplace, how we show up as leaders, as authorities, how we position ourselves in the marketplace, and especially in the minds of our audience. So we have to know how to own our energy. We have to know how to create those systems that will allow us to wake up every day energized, pumped up, excited to become leaders, to be and act as leaders in front of the people who need us. And also, our intention is crucial. And if we are being coaches, if we are being consultants, we are not people who are here just to make a quick buck, It's not how it's gonna work. What we have to really dive in and understand is that we really have to own in that frame of leadership, and we have to be the example. We have to push and train our own audience. So we have to show up in that frame of mind, and this is super important. And this energy intention thing actually is what we focus on mainly in the Organic Attraction Accelerator. Super important. Then we have our offer. Our offer is the ball. So it's something that we strike with our energy, and it actually has to strike a nerve. So we have to understand what our audience wants to hear from us, what our audience needs from us. And we also need to convey our offer in the most effective way. So in a way that it is actually resonating, that is strong, which is conveyed with confidence, with power. And this goes back to the energy. And finally, we have the audience, which is usually in base 1. So our audience is people who are following what we are doing, they are watching, reading our posts, they are connected, they are engaged, but at the beginning they are all in base 1. So how do we actually move people from base 1 to base 2 to base 3 and finally get them sale and deliver? We want to really understand how this whole game works. So in baseball, you have when you hit the ball, you have 3 possible outcomes. If you think about it, the first outcome is that you hit the ball and the ball just go into the foul zone. So people don't move, and basically this is when you put out some kind of content which has no engagement at all, and you just bomb it. You also have to understand that this is completely normal when we are doing what we are doing. So we have to move forward, we have to be consistent, and we have to own that vibe of, okay, this is something which hasn't worked, so I'm gonna learn from it. I'm gonna use it as a feedback, and then continue to make this imperfect action. Then we have the second outcome. So we hit the ball, and the ball it makes an home run. So people run from base to base to base. And this is when you see someone that you maybe haven't been hearing of, that you don't know him, and he reaches out to you over content. You have never talked to him, and he says to you, "Hey Simon, this is the first time we talk, and I actually have been reading and following you since a lot of months, but right now I'm ready, so I want to have a strategy sessions with you, and you can actually enroll him in your program right off the bat without ever talking to him." This is also another outcome that actually happens. But what we have really to focus on, it's in the TLA game, it's moving people from base to base to base to base. So moving people from base 1 to base 2 to base 3 and base 4. And how do we do it? We do it by, in the first part of the game, it's really creating those posts which are about attraction, which are about bonding, which are about really making the people see who we are, what we stand for, showing our vulnerabilities, showing our scars, and without actually making them see our open wounds, but really putting ourselves out there. This is super important. And then we have the phase which is more about pre-selling. So we have polarization posts, we have value posts, we have offer posts, which are what we're gonna focus in the training, which are created, designed to actually pre-sell our offer, to make people see what we have, how it works, and so that when they actually schedule a strategy call with us, when we get into a call with us, they already pre-sell, they already know what we are doing here, and they already wanna buy. So super important also understanding how this all works. And finally, from moving people from base 2 to base 3, it's all about the sales. So how you show up in your own strategy session. What is the level of confidence that you have? How you can actually relate, dive in, and really help and diagnose the problem of the person that you have in front of. And finally, the delivery, and this is up to you. And ideally, you can actually make them do another home run once you have like a client who has received your services and they are actually happy from what they received. You can actually give them or take them through your high-end program if you have them. So this is basically how it all works. If you have some questions, feel free to reach out to me over Messenger. Quickly take a sip of tea. So now let's get to the nitty gritty here. So what are the 6 ways to book strategy sessions? So what we are focusing here, and the outcome, as we said, is getting people to raise their hands and asking for our help. And we do them through these 6 posts: announcement posts, 2-step organic posts, handful posts, brag posts, case study posts, and curiosity posts. So let's see how they work. First, announcement posts. So the outcome of this kind of post is actually to make people schedule a call with you and raise their hands in the comments. And so in order to do that, what we have to focus on is actually creating a post and, first of all, selling the read more button. So you have like when you have a post, you have that button in blue that is, you can see read more. You have to, first of all, sell them to read the read more button. So you have to understand that you have to give them a reason in the first few lines in the headline of why it's important for them to actually scroll through and read the whole post. What is in it for them? You have to explain it clearly in the first headlines, maybe by calling them out or by other tactics or ways. Then you want to hit hard. When they are reading your post, you want to hit hard on their major points and really let them know that if they don't change what they're doing now, their ship will go under. We really, when we are putting out some value, this kind of value posts or announcement posts or polarizing posts, we have to show no mercy. Because remember, our main intention is not just to provide a band-aid solution, but is actually to provide them, to give them the whole solution, the whole recipe, and to move them out of their problem once and for all. So show no mercy. And this goes back also to understanding, again, exactly who is the person that we actually want to work. and we want to paint a clear picture about how their life could look like when they have this solution, our solution, when they are finally out of their shitty situation, how does their life is gonna look like. So this goes back to understanding again how their dream vision look like, using the same language, the same patterns. And finally, at the end of the post, you want to announce your offer, tell them exactly what you do, how it works in the most easiest and clear way as possible. And finally, sell them what it is the next step for example, a call to action, so they can actually start raising their hands or eventually or even book a call directly with you. Then I can show you like some of my announcement posts. I'm not gonna go deep, I'm not gonna explain, just pause the training and go through it yourself. Okay, and now we have 2 steps organic posts, which are the kind of posts that we prefer because they act just like ads. So actually, I'm gonna explain later how this all works, but the outcome of this kind of post is actually to give people a free training to actually open door to schedule a call with us. And those trainings, these 2-step posts are super important and crucial for you to build those authority in your marketplace. And those kind of posts are actually a major asset. And you see once you have like 2 or 3 of them in your own profile that people will start to reach out and resonate. And actually every week are gonna comment on the posts and ask you actually raising their hands, so showing you that they could be potentially ready to buy or potentially ready to have a strategy sessions with you. This kind of posts, they work like ads, super important, and are actually major assets in your content, in your game. So in order for us to create some powerful 2-step posts that actually resonate with our market, we really have to understand what is our market wanting from us. So what are the key elements of our offer that resonate more with our audience, and what do they think that the problem they are having is all about. So you want to really connect the 2 steps, especially in the headline, to solving their main important problem, because this is super important. And then we want to sell the read more button. Again, as before, we want to give them a reason in our headline on why it is so important for them to read the whole post and to actually comment. So the main part of this content, of this kind of post, is actually based on evoking extreme curiosity. So selling them the need to actually commenting and getting them to raise their hands and potentially like receive a training from us, so that we can actually have a clear way, a clear path to connect with them. And you want to do that by evoking extreme curiosity, and you can do it by telling them exactly how your training or what you're going to present them is gonna help them achieve their goals without doing something that they hate, for example. Or you want to present it like as a complete or different approach to solve a specific problem. Or you can do it by leverage some persuasive tactics like throwing rocks at your competitors, like what other people are saying, so getting them excited and pumped up, so they start to get curious, they want to know what this is all about. And finally, you're gonna do this by telling them how this training it's gonna help them in a clear way, in a clear and logic way, to achieve and reach their dream outcome. Super important. So then we want to ask for comments, for hand raisers. For example, hey guys, this is the training, these are the rules for having the training, and if you want to get it, just comment training in the comment and you'll get it. And finally, what you have to have into place before starting to make these 2 steps posts, it's a strong messenger frame to get strategy sessions booked before sending the training. Super important. You have to know how to approach in order for actually qualify them and getting them the training after it. So this is actually one organic post. Again, you can see how it works. I'm not gonna explain it too much, just press pause and go through it. Then we have handful posts. For example, a handful posts are looking for a handful of people who want to scale up to 10K profit per month in the next 90 days. Sounds crazy, I know. That's why we are only looking for people who are, and then you qualify them. And if that's you, comment below. So these kind of posts are posts who are kind of more difficult to make them work, more advanced. So before, we want to really have owned in your ideal avatar alignment and understanding how your offer works, and already have like some good proof of concept. Then you have brag posts. For example, you can say something like, I book, or my clients book 3 to 5 quality strategy sessions every day without spending a dime on ads, and comment yes below if you want to learn my secrets. Again, here you have like a clear direct path to connect with them, engage with them, qualify them to see if they are ready to work with them. And then you can say something like, okay, this is a kind of thing that I do just for testing my new beta version, my new beta offer, or something like this. So you can actually put in like a bonus for them if they want to join. Then you have some case study posts. You can say something like, I'm looking for people who want to be my next testimonial, and we get you from where you are right now to 10K a month, or whatever you actually do for them within the next 90 days. And to qualify, you need to, and here you insert your qualify statement. So what is the people that you think is a good fit for your program? And if we choose you, you need to be willing to post a case study. This goes back to human psychology. People love to be case studies. People love to get some bonuses or some discount. So you can actually leverage this kind of post to put out a discount for your offer, for your program, in exchange for a testimonial. And this is actually a great leverage, especially if you are starting a brand. Putting out a testimonial, it's gonna be even more valuable than having a customer here, even more valuable than having like 2-3 paying clients, because if you can actually leverage some testimonials, it's gonna be easier for other people to trust and believe you. Then we have curiosity posts. For example, I'm defining a new price for my offer. If we get you to 10K a month within the next 90 days, what would you be willing to pay? And this kind of posts, of course, you have to adapt them to your solution, to what you are doing with your clients. And you can actually, the funny thing, you can actually post this kind of content in other groups, and sometimes you could get a warning because this is just like phishing like in other groups. So you want to be very, very aware and pay attention of what are the rules of the groups, but they work great and they evoke curiosity. So guys, this was the training I had for you for today. It's super powerful, and really I want to know from you how it all works out. So what I ask from you is right now, if you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I'm happy to really dive in and help you understand how this all can work for your coaching, for your consulting, for what you are doing with your clients. And of course, send me those screenshots and all the feedback that you want, which is highly appreciated. And guys, again, this was the end of the training, and welcome to this next one. Bye.